First obstacle of the day, looks like the river's burst its banks, so I've just been told to turn round by the guy for the council. Can't blame Google for this ain't. Right, let's go and find an alternative route. So we're back to another flood sign. I've had a few arguments with Google so far trying to get a route sorted because of the last flood, and now we've come down here and there's another flood, which means I'm going to have to go back that way and find a detour. I think we'll go down here and see what the flood is. How about? This was the second flood detour in the morning. The path's definitely a no-go. There was another path at the right of the bank which saved me taking another detour. I was speaking to a local backer where I last filmed, and he says the river's nae normally like this, but as you can see it is well and truly flooded. It's a bridge we're aiming for. According to that local guy, there should be a bike path down the middle of the motorway. Probably can't hear me for the traffic, but we are halfway across the line. We're heading to Mannheim, which is in that direction there. And then I think we'll follow the Rhine for a wee bit. And then we head across towards Stuttgart. I just arrived at SV Waldorf Mannheim, currently 3rd Division, so it's call it the Farcali Thistles, going down to like Scotland League 1. And stadium is supposed to be 25,000 capacity. Let's go and have a closer look. Just crossed the river Neckar, I think it's called, and it's looking pretty high. As you can see, there's been flooding down here as well, and yeah, I must have had enough of what more rain I've seen since I've been here. It's been the last 40-50 minutes going through central Mannheim. It's quite an industrial place. There seems to be a bit of a coal yard, one of the tributaries of the rivers. Just a little head across the bridge and then in that direction in general. Yeah, fit by pitch, but it could be. Grass looks in great condition. This where the rolls of turf comfy for the garden centres. This is when you think Google's playing ball, it sends you on one of these paths. The one I've just come off has been okay, but back to the drawing board. Google Maps might piss you off for sending us down tracks like that in behind us, and the one we just come off, but at least we don't have to go down the motorway. We are that traffic trying to hit you. Finally made it to stop to the day. It's more like 60k plus after a few arguments with Google to prove I was right and they were wrong. This is FC Bruchel, probably pronounced it wrong, and they play it in the 6th tier of German football. Well, that was brutal. 6k climb up through the woods. I think we've finally made it to the top. That looks like a downhill in front of us now. It was a lot harder than it should have been because the gears aren't working properly, so I kind of get down to this small ring, which means you have to travel on the middle lane, which isn't too good for the legs after 130k. But we've only got another 6 or 7 to go to the hotel, and then we can get our feet up in the shower. Hopefully it's downhill most of the way. Quick update on what's happened today because it's been pretty eventful. I just checked into the hotel. The room was pretty tidy until I've just dumped all my stuff in the flare. It's a business hotel and a service station. As you can see, there's not much of a view. I was kind of surprised when this place was only £44 a night, and apparently you get all this stuff for a breakfast which is included, so it's pretty decent. Quick update on what happened today. I went to take a few detours early on because the River Rhine flooded, which you've probably seen in the earlier section of the video. And then I had a couple of arguments with Google Maps because they were sending me through a woody forest, which just didn't look like a proper path. So that kind of delayed things. And then in order to get a hotel at a reasonable price, I had to bang in 140k, which was okay, but then the gears packed in, so the chain ring doesn't go to the bottom ring, which marks the hills we're going through a bit of a grind. And to make matters worse, I have a broken spoke, so the wheel's buckled, so every revolution of the wheel, the brake seems to kind of scuff a wee bit, so it feels like you're pedalling with the brakes on. And then my biggest nightmare came when I checked into a hotel and there isn't any food, and the only place to eat is McDonald's, which I refuse to go to, but I've had to bite the bullet because I just burned 5,000 calories a day. So lucky days was better than nothing because there was nothing at the service station. So tomorrow we are 32k to go to Stuttgart Stadium, but I'll need to take a detour in by a bike shop to see if they can fix the spoke for me. Hopefully they'll be able to do it there and then, but if no, I might have to stay in Stuttgart for a couple of nights. Total mileage covered so far, I've done 1261, and there's only another 288 to Munich, including the 32 to Stuttgart, so another 2 or 3 days should see it, and then I'll see what happens after that. Morning of day 14, and as you can see here, I've gotten 2 broken spokes. Probably marks it worse because it takes the tension off of the wheel, so that's why it feels like it's buckled. So it's just going to back a 7, so I'll probably leave about 8:30 because the bike shop opens at 10, and we'll see what they're saying when we get there. Waiting for the car buffs, just passing the Porsche Museum. Yeah, still doesn't matter what to buy one, overpriced. The bike's in the shop getting the spokes fixed, and I'll tell you more about that later. And I've just got an early check-in at one of the hotels, which cost a wee bit extra, but sometimes you've got to bite the bullet and go for it. Just heading down to the Stuttgart Stadium, which is a 5k hike for the hotel. So hopefully that'll tick that enough, and then tomorrow when we pick the bike up, it's just a case of get going and see how we can go after that. Halfway in the 5k hike to the stadium, you can just see it in the distance over there in front of the hills and behind that train that's passing. We need to get down here and cross the river somehow. Just about to cross the river Neckar, I think that's what it's called. We passed it further upstream, as you can see it's pretty high flowing. I think that path's the one I'm supposed to bike down in the morning, so hopefully we will may get blocked off. Somebody doesn't like the graffiti. So just about a kilometre to go to the stadium. Lots of work going on in this section before it. It looks like they're setting up some fan zones and that when the tournament's on. It'll be interesting to see how that looks when we're finished. We're now at the stadium. I think this is gate A, or parking zone A, or whatever. Can't hardly see much through the trees, and it's obviously fenced off because of the tournament that's just about to start. I'm going to walk around and see if we can get a better view. Yeah, we haven't got any closer than that. So we'll just walk past the stadium, we'll go around the other side and see if we can get a better view. Past the Porsche Museum on the way to the bike shop. And we're now at the Mercedes Museum. I think the stadium is named after Carl Benz. I think that's the second stadium it's actually been called the Carl Benz Stadium since I've been here. So a wee update on the bike. Took it into the shop, there is 2 or 3 spokes pinged. They were really busy. So the guys got a fix it the morning at 10 o'clock when they open. So hopefully by 11 they should be back and rolling. But we're outside the Mercedes-Benz Museum just now. I'm not going in there, this trip's not about cars, it's about football. And we're still on a wander around the complex, it's pretty big. A few little football pitches, and I think there's some tennis courts back here as well, which I don't have any access to either, so I'm just to go around here and tuck a left and go down the other side. And this gate's open. I'm going for a wee bit of a closer look before somebody kicks me out. Yep, so it doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere close to the stadium, and all these trees are obstructing the view. So I've got a wee bit more to walk around. Well, that's the Stuttgart Stadium where Scotland's playing Hungary on the 23rd of June, which is their final group game, but hopefully this year it will be their last game in the tournament, like every other year they've been in the Euros and the World Cup. We've just walked around the Hill Stadium and you can't get anywhere close. When you do get close, there's too many trees, so you can't get a decent view. So if you do want a close-up look at the stadium, I would suggest watching the Scotland game against Hungary on the 23rd of June. It should be free on BBC or ITV because the pay-per-view channels haven't bribed FIFA enough to get them away for the terrestrial channels, which is good. So that is the Stuttgart Stadium. I've now got another 5k walk back to the hotel. It's kind of funny how you can spin an easy gear on a bike for like 10 hours a day, and then as soon as you stop and walk and go up some stairs you feel the muscles in your legs a bit. So I'm going to try and find a Lidl, buy heaps of liquid so I can rehydrate, because I never drink enough when I'm biking. And I'm going to crash out in the hotel for the rest of the night, and then we will go and pick up the bike tomorrow morning, and it should hopefully be business as usual. Quick stop at a viewpoint on the way back for the stadium. Hotel's about 10-minute walk in that direction. A lot of busy roads around about here. The stadium is down in that direction. Just kind of gives you an idea of how hilly Stuttgart is. Steps are bloody steep. Feel it in the legs coming up here. So it's maybe a good job of a day off for the bike. This is the bike shop that fixed my bike. Just as I sat down for supper, I got an email saying the bike had been fixed because they had a no-show. When the spoke was taken off, it punctured the tube, so I was lucky it didn't happen 70k for Stuttgart when the spokes pinged. Back in the Netherlands, I also noticed that the back tyre was pretty bare, so I got a new one fitted while they fixed the wheel. The shop didn't shut until 7 PM, so I picked the bike up the same day I dropped it off and was ready to go the next morning. If you've made it this far, you might as well hit subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll be notified when the video of the next leg of the trip is uploaded. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.